All right, let's
Okay.
show us what's in the box. Top secret.
First one is for Grizz.
Oh,
What?
hang on. What do we got? Ah!
Keep going, mate. You're doing good. Yes! Dude, you punched the fuck out of
dude.
that, man.
Holy fucking shit!
So good. Yo, Captain Pear.
I didn't know what was going on there.
Man. Fucking got him.
Fucking got him, dude.
Holy shit. Dude, good game. Fucking good game.
Are you ready?
I knew it!
Cap, look at my fish.
Oh wow!
It's my little bite. Ready? Bitch.
Always steal those kisses from you. Always have to steal those kisses from you. Always have to steal those kisses from you. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Always have to steal my kisses from you. Always have to steal my kisses from you. Oh. All right. Let's
Okay.
show us what's in the box. Top secret.
First one is for Grizz.
Oh,
What?
hang on. What do we got? Ah!
Keep going, mate. You're doing good. Yes! Dude, you punched the fuck out of that,
dude.
man.
Holy fucking shit!
So good. Yo, Captain Pear.
I didn't know what was going on there.
Man. Fucking got him.
Fucking got him, dude.
Holy shit. Dude, good game. Fucking good game.
Are you ready?
I knew it!
Cap, look at my fish.
Oh wow!
It's my little bite. Ready? Bitch.
Always have to steal those kisses from you. Always have to steal those kisses from you. Always have to steal those kisses from you. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Always have to steal my kisses from you. Always have to steal my kisses from you. Oh. All right. Let's
Okay.
show us what's in the box. Top secret.
First one is for Grizz.
Oh.
What?
Hang on. What do we got? Ah!
Keep going, mate. You're doing good. Yes! Dude, you punched the fuck out of that,
dude.
man.
Holy fucking shit!
So good. Yo, Captain Pear.
I didn't know what was going on there.
Man. Fucking got him.
Fucking got him, dude.
Holy shit. Dude, good game. Fucking good game.
Are you ready?
I knew it!
Cap, look at my fish.
Oh wow!
It's my little bite. Ready? Bitch.
Always have to steal those kisses from you. Always have to steal those kisses from you.
we're top.
Oh.
We're on.
Yeah. Whoops, my bad. I don't know how
Hello,
long that was
sirs.
waiting. Hello.
We live.
We're live.
Yo,
There you go, caging.
Caging.
Whoa,
Get
is
outta
this the
here.
old scene? I thought
Yeah.
we-
I
Dude, my stream hasn't loaded to us being there yet.
oh,
Why?
might
We're
Where?
behind.
maybe do a
Where
cheeky
exactly?
refresh.
G'day,
Yeah.
Kurt.
What I've been
Kurt.
doing is going into this scene and then going into when we're actually live. We go into the formal one.
I
'Cause
like
this is a- this is a
I
cool-
like changing up. This is cool.
Yeah, because I don't want to not use this one because I like it quite a bit, but we're gonna keep this as like the off recording.
We are extremely
I like
professional
it.
here, caging right.
That is
right.
molto professional.
Oh, it's Moosey that's saying that.
Moosey.
Moosey. how are
Moosey.
you, brother?
Jose, g'day, mate. Fat gimme.
How are doing, legends?
Yes.
I think we're a bit late, so maybe we should.
Let's get stuck in.
Should we get
all
into
right.
it?
Cap, you have your timer up?
Yes, I do.
Are you lying to me?
No, I do.
Okay.
It's going to be hot in here later, boys. I'm hot already.
You hot boxing in there.
Hot boxing, yeah.
All right. In 3, 2, 1.
Yeah, bloody g'day and welcome. How you going? Great to have you here. This is Oceanic Gaming Radio. That's OGR, baby. This is the show, the podcast, the weekly thing that we do every week. Hence why it's weekly, where we tell you all about video games. Yeah, don't you give me that, all right? That was poetry.
There's a bit of video game talk.
It's a bit of video game talk. Anyways, this is episode number 47. We're coming to you on the 13th of February, approximately 7 p.m. Australian Western Standard Time, where we record this live on Twitch, and people in Twitch chat talk shit at us. It's great. Anyways,
to us.
thanks for
They
being
do.
here. As I did mention, my name's Captain Perth, and alongside me, as always, are the wonderful Grizzly Gaming 86 and Pavloverface.
Ahoy,
Boys.
hoy.
Hey-o.
What's
And
freaking
Pav.
going on?
Pav,
How's
you go
things?
first. What have you
Me?
been up to, Pav?
Oh,
Yeah.
I've
You always
been
go first.
I've been good. I had another very busy weekend. Was on the Source. Is that how the kids say it? Do the kids say that? I don't know.
That's
I'm
how the
I'm not
Source.
hip. I'm not cool.
Yeah.
Was good.
Yeah.
Was at a friend's wedding. Bloody beautiful night, and yeah, just all around good weekend.
Did you
Yeah.
catch the bouquet?
Year of the weddings, Pav, eh? Lots
It
of
is
weddings, mate.
lots of weddings. I did not catch the bouquet, but I wish I did.
Were you in the running?
I think I was in the running. There were many singles there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's me crying.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's good.
What a catch, you know? Just,
Yeah, what a catch.
guy. Come on. What are people doing with themselves? Well, that sounds lovely, Pav.
was
One
beautiful.
thing I think about weddings, right, is like, how was the food and alcohol situation?
Food was delicious. Catered for everyone. It was very nice. Alcohol wise, they had a huge bar tab
Yeah.
that I'm not even sure we went through it, and I drank a lot.
A lot of beers.
yeah.
No,
That
I
sounds
didn't.
like a good
I
wedding,
didn't
mate.
touch the beers. I was on cocktails all night, like
my God.
fancy cocktails
Jeez.
all night, and I don't think we scratched the surface of the bar tab. It was huge.
Pav, was
Insane.
it sit down or cocktail?
Cocktail.
Sit
It
down,
was
cocktail.
good.
Okay.
It was
Oh,
actually
okay.
it was
They're
actually
always
really
the
cool.
best. I don't mind.
I
that.
actually I really like that for weddings, where you're not kind of stuck, dude. Honestly, I've
Yeah.
been to some weddings and I've been on some tragic tables for myself in terms of the conversation department.
The last one-
and it is fucking brutal.
We went to one together, Cap, and
We
we,
did.
were on the same
Hey,
table.
that was a
Was
ripper.
that tragic? No, it was
No,
good.
that was a fucking ripper. Yeah, but honestly, I do like the ability to move around though, rather than kind of being stuck in a seat. So I don't know. That's what we did for our wedding anyway. But I don't know. That sounds really good, Pav. Yeah, all I was going to say was that when it comes to food and drink, they're the two things you don't fuck up for a wedding because people remember that.
Oh
shit.
yeah, 100%, mate.
People don't go, oh, remember that how the toilet floor was covered in toilet paper. They go, oh man, this wasn't enough food, or
Yeah.
Oh man, the bar tab ran out, and then everyone had to start paying for their
Yeah,
drinks. You
that
know,
happens.
shit like that. That's what
The
people.
worst
fucking
ones
talk
is when
about.
the wedding is BYO alcohol. If it's ever BYO alcohol, it's not a good
Escape.
sign. Escape.
Don't go.
Yeah.
Fucking nice, Pav. Well, Grizz, what about you, mate? What was your weekend?
Firstly, I just want to quickly say that we did figure out what the driving game was. Caging
Oh,
Runt
that's
has
right.
actually
Well, do you want to
said
give
it.
us a bit of an
it
overview
is-
of what we're talking about?
Okay, so last week we were talking about a particular game that is really old, where you used to open up a newspaper and you used to buy your car from the newspaper. It'd be advertised. It'd be like a 1800s Corvette, whatever it was, and you get it, and then you take it over the pits.
1800s.
Well, real old. Who knows?
Was
I
it
don't know
fucking
how old
drawn by fucking
I can't
horse
remember.
or some shit?
Who knows, man? Look, I didn't write the game, all right? So I'm not a developer. But then you'd play
Fucking
for
hell.
pink slips. The game is called Hot Rod. Hot Rod. Banger
Yeah.
game. Yeah.
I actually had a bit of a look at it the other day when you
Did you?
mentioned it in Facebook chat, and I don't think I remember that one at all.
Oh, yeah, you didn't play that? Okay. I think it was on I don't know, it was on Atari, but it was on some real old PC, like Windows.
Makes sense because I never had like one of those old PCs as a kid. I just went
Yeah.
straight into Super Nintendo. No, hang on. We had an original NES as well.
Right.
Not that I remember playing that one. I definitely remember playing Super Nintendo, but I didn't have
Did you
any
play
of
the one,
those old ones.
Cap, with the tanks? It was almost like Worms, but tanks, and you would have to aim your trajectory to shoot.
Was
and
that
you-
on NES or Super Nintendo?
No, this is on old PC as well.
No, because I didn't have it at old PC.
Okay.
Like one of those old
Okay.
Atari things or
Gee,
whatever.
you
I never
miss-
had one of those.
Gee, mate, yeah, we're gonna have to fucking. You know what? No, it's gone. It's done. You lost the chance to experience
over.
that. Yeah.
To be honest, there's pretty fucking good games out these days that in a 3-dimensional axis. So I'm
Scorched
okay with
Earth!
missing out.
Scorched Earth. That's the one.
Yeah. Is that the
Absolutely
one?
Banger
Or Nick
game.
Cagey?
Yes. Banger
Coming in
game.
hot with the
Oh,
with
jeez.
the game names.
Yeah.
But that's fucking cool. Grizz. Well,
Anyway.
what about your weekend, mate?
The weekend, I had a gig on Friday night, Roberts on Ox. We got one there every 2 weeks. I just quickly want to shout out my Perth gaming fam that have been getting down regularly to these shows.
Legends.
Absolute legends.
Legend.
If you are in Perth and you would like to come, hit me up and I can give you the address. Want to come and have a beer, say good day, you're more than welcome. So that was great, Cap. And then I went to Ted's christening on Saturday morning.
Yeah.
Very
Yep.
tired, but it was great to see yourself and Ted and rest of the fam.
The big dog.
The big dog.
Yeah.
He's so
Yeah,
much
no,
more
he-
aware, dude. He's changed a lot since I last seen him, for sure.
Oh man, absolutely.
Mm.
Yeah, it's crazy how quickly they just start like developing little things, especially just like you said, their awareness and I know even just using their hands and shit.
Man,
like,
he was
happens so
looking out
quickly.
at everyone and just
Yeah,
like,
Yeah, he was like,
who
"Who
are
the
all
fuck
these
are you
people?"
guys?
Why
What
are
the
all
fuck
standing
going on
there?
here? Why are they pouring water on me?
Oh, that was
Yeah.
great, dude. It was great.
Yeah.
And then on Saturday, and you'll probably go more into that when you do your little bit, Cap. But on Saturday night, I actually had Lily, which is my oldest daughter, one of her friend's parents over for dinner, and he is also a gamer. He
Oh, sick.
has an own little game room, and he plays a lot of Warzone. So when I talk about the How's Your Gaming Gone, it has a little bit of that. I've actually been playing a bit of Warzone, so I'm excited to tell you about that, mate.
Yeah, sick. I'm
pretty-
excited to get into how's your gaming going as well. I actually did a lot of shit.
Yeah, got some
yeah,
stuff.
big time. A lot of shit. So
Cool.
very cool. Which
Well,
is
that's
surprising
me.
for a
It
man
was
with a
a-
fucking 4-month-old. But
It
anyway.
was a busy weekend, Cap. I feel like I
Yeah.
haven't stopped and then straight into work, mate, and just
Yeah, dude. Do you know what? I'm fucked today. I gotta be honest.
Yeah,
Like,
what the hell?
full day of work, and like the weekend was quite busy. So I feel you. I feel you, dude. I'm right
Mm.
beside you, waving the flag. But yeah, look, I didn't do an awful lot. I mean, apart from the christening, actually.
Mm.
It was just like a
Dude, that would have taken a
consistent
bit of
business.
organising. I tell you what, you guys did a great
Yeah.
job. Nicely
thanks, mate.
catered, and
Well, I did none of that. I'll tell you that much for free.
what was the
I just
samosas?
held
Tell
the
you what,
baby.
samosas. An excuse for a samosa. Is that what they're called? Cap, the champagne and
You're
orange
talking about a
juice?
mimosa.
A mimosa. That's it. The samosas are good too.
I was like,
you
we
didn't have
didn't-
any of that.
we didn't have any samosas there. We had quiches. Fucking Grizz.
Those mimosas were
Unbelievable.
they were fucking delicious, mate.
Yeah, they
They were
were
good.
good. Bit of fucking orange juice, supercharged orange juice to start your day. Bloody good. But yeah, no, it was good. We got Ted christened. Not that we're Christian folk or anything. We are quite the opposite, in fact. But we just wanted the option to put him into private school if we wanted to.
Yeah, we did it.
basically.
We
Yeah.
did it, mate. Yeah, Lily's
Yep,
christened.
exactly.
Mhm.
So
You just, the good
yeah,
thing is you
he's
just got to get one of them in there. Then they usually let the rest of the family in there. So
Yeah, exactly. So, well, exactly. So Ted was the sacrificial lamb. So, there you go. But yeah, no, it was good. It was a good little service and stuff. It was quite fun. Good to, just an excuse to catch up with some people I don't see very often. So
Mhm.
that was nice. And then Sunday, mostly just looked after Ted all day. We did a bit of shopping, just the usual weekly shop and stuff like that. And yeah, that was about it really. So
Here we
it was
are.
fairly
Monday.
cruisy, but yeah, like we stayed at Mia's mum and dad's place Friday night, and then Saturday day, and then we had one of our good friends, their daughter's first birthday, and Ted. We got there about an hour and a half late because Ted overslept by like an hour, so which you just don't wake them.
Big
it's
day
just
at
not
the
gonna happen.
christening, mate. He would have been knackered.
Yeah. Yeah, so they were understanding. So we caught the end of that, and then went home and had some. Oh man, we had these burgers from this place called Burger Freak up the road from us.
Is that
Unbelievable
the place
burgers.
that I've been with you?
No, you're thinking of Royales, but there's a place
Oh,
called Burger Freak in
Right.
Belmont, WA,
Okay.
and let me tell you, unreal.
Is it
in
better
easily-
than Royales? Is it better?
Yeah,
Because Royales
absolutely.
is pretty
Yeah.
freaking good.
Dude, they do this one burger called so the whole thing is like a little shop of horrors kind of theme, and so it's all like Halloween shit. And they've got all these different burgers. One's called like instead of Master of Puppets, it's like Master of Pork, and it's got the same writing as the Master of Puppets album.
Sick.
And then they've also got this one that I always get called Children of the Prawn, and it's like a surf and turf burger. It has this
Oh.
amazing burger, beef burger patty, and they do these like battered fried Cajun prawns with like a lemon myrtle
In the
dill
burger.
in the burger, and
Jesus.
lemon
Right.
myrtle aioli in there as well. And it is making my mouth water just even thinking about it. But yeah, it's
Tell you
unbelievable.
what, Kat, I reckon like 50 square Ks around your house serves some of the best burgers I have ever eaten in my
Oh, yeah.
travels.
Yeah,
Like,
well, I'm
there are
telling you,
some
there's
seriously good burger places around where
Yeah,
you
mate.
live.
yeah, it's like I exude, the pheromones to create good burgers, and they're just all around me.
Yeah, it's like, the Marlborough region of New Zealand makes a really good dry white wine.
Yeah,
Well,
it's in the soil, mate.
region around Captain Perth makes really fucking good burgers.
Yeah, well, there you go. So you have a fucking, Central Perth area, you're probably in for a good burger.
Mm.
There you go. But yeah, anyways, that was my weekend, and we should probably fucking get started on this show, Grizz and
Yep.
Pavlich.
We've got
So
some good stuff to
yeah.
talk about tonight.
Now, as we mentioned, episode 47, so we're creeping close to that big old 50. But, as always, just want to thank everyone for listening, whether it be live in the Twitch chat right now or it be via podcast platform. So whoever you are, wherever you are, I just want to say thank you for consuming this content. If you know someone else who might like to listen to this content, make sure you fucking tell them about us. We really appreciate it. It'd be fucking great. Now, as always, want to also say thank you to our wonderful Patreons. We got a new Patreon this week.
Did we?
Yeah, we did indeed. Well, last week during the
Holy-
show.
We
so
did.
we did indeed.
Yes.
So, anyways, just want to thank the following legends for financially supporting this podcast: Sukai, Moosey, Caging Runt, Sergeant Paul, Lee G, DJ Libs, Nicole, Brendan, and now Dan Fantastic. Cheers, mate. Appreciate you,
thanks,
baby.
Dan. You guys are
Um,
awesome.
Big
It
time
is
appreciate it.
slowly growing the Patreon. Just want to really appreciate the
Yeah.
support you legends
That-
out there. For,
That list is expanding.
yes.
Which is very cool. So we actually we do have some stuff coming. I know we keep saying it, but we actually do legitimately have some shit coming soon.
We have
that
purchased some things. That
We
are
have
gonna
some
be,
purchases that have transpired as of actually today. So we're putting that money to good use. So there you freaking go. So thank you very much. You're improving the podcast little by little, and you're also just being legends. But yeah, anyways, let's dive into the show now. Let's freaking unscroll this quest log, Grizz. We've got a fair bit to get through today.
Yeah.
We had a Nintendo Direct, so we're going to talk to you about some of the things that came out of there. We've also, that wizard game. You know the one. I'm not going to, you know the one. Yeah,
Voldemort!
Voldemort.
Kadabra,
Well,
Kadabra, whatever it is.
it's Grizz. It's doing pretty good.
It is.
pretty
It's doing
good
very
despite the
good,
backlash,
Cap.
so
it is doing extremely well. Yeah.
Exactly. So
Did
we'll bring you all the bits and pieces that's happening in there, and we also want to we need to talk to you guys about something, and that something is the Facebook gaming platform. What do we want to talk to you about? Well, we'll fucking tell you. We'll tell you shortly. Anyways, let's start from the top, baby. Excuse me. Nintendo Direct, Grizz. Now,
Yeah.
I believe that happened on, was it Tuesday last week? What would that have been? No, it would have been the Wednesday, I think.
It was
I think
like
it was the day.
2 days after you and I spoke
Yeah.
about how Nintendo needed to have a direct because we haven't heard.
Yes,
anything.
remember? Because we were like, surely there's a direct. They're just going to shadow drop one any time now, and it was like
Yeah.
the next day or the day after. We're like, oop, there it is. So yeah, it kind of came out of nowhere, which they do tend to do all the time. But yeah, they basically, put a bit of an announcement out on Twitter saying, "Hey, we've got a bunch of shit we want to talk to you about games coming out in the first half of this year," and obviously, we know that the Tears of the Kingdom release date was marked for May. May? January, February, March, April. Yeah, May. May. So, all things led to one of us believing that we're getting some Legend of Zelda news. And we did.
We got it.
We got some Tears of the Kingdom. We
have
got a
achieved it.
gameplay trailer. So it was a bit more. We got a bit more gameplay. A little bit more. It wasn't a heap of gameplay. It was
Yeah.
probably a little bit of. I don't know. It was kind of the same formula of the gameplay we'd had recently, and maybe just a few extra bits and pieces. We got some more kind of environment shots, and maybe just giving us an
We
idea
did
of
see
the
some,
locales.
saw some powers and some bits and pieces happening as well in there.
Yeah, I mean, just to kind of summarize, I guess, the contents of the trailer, we saw a bunch of new enemy types, but a lot of recurring enemy types with, slight variations on what we've seen in Breath of the Wild. Also looks like that whole Blood Moon system is getting, kind of another layer chucked on top. Looks like the moon actually like fires these sort of red tears out of it. We kind of got an insight into, I guess, just the Hyrule region after all this time's passed between the two games. Well, we don't know exactly how much time's passed, but it doesn't seem like much time has passed because the locale looks, the environment looks very, very similar, Grizz. Do you agree?
I kind of agree, but I actually thought that a lot of the buildings were, and the bridges and the images that we saw were quite run down, Cap. I thought.
Yeah, but I thought they were pretty run down in the first game.
Oh, you might be right. But there were towns and stuff that were nice, and
Yeah.
we
Oh
didn't
no,
s-
for sure. Yeah, I think.
we didn't see from what I saw. We didn't see any civilization that didn't look fucking in ruins.
Well,
to me.
the main village you go to in the first sort of like maybe couple of hours of the game, I think that was kind of shown. Can't remember what that village is called. But yeah, you see some like outskirt kind of encampments as well.
Yeah.
Where in terms of civilization, so maybe the towns have been decimated or something, and there's only a couple left, and they're living in these kind of almost look like like those you ever watch like those like historical retellings of like Mongolian wilderness plains people, and they kind of
Like
make
the little
those
huts,
tents
little-
and stuff. Yeah,
yeah,
kind of
yeah,
look like
yeah.
that. So anyways, it's
I wonder what the timeline is doing there. I do agree with you though, Cap. Like the actual physical environments look pretty much as they were in Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
From what we've
So
seen.
yeah, there was a lot of similarities. I guess maybe that kind of because I mean, there's almost that bit of nostalgia for Breath of the Wild 1
Oh, yeah.
now because it's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
such a popular game and stuff. So I guess you can kind of apply that nostalgia kind of lens to this and go, oh, there's that place I remember and this. But there was a few like new sort of what would you call them? Features of interest, I guess, across the map. There was these towers that had these big spotlights on it. There seemed to be these kind of Mayan/Aztec kind of drawings on the ground, all of those ones that you see in real life where they, at a big scale, they've drawn these sort of Mayan Aztec kind of birds and stuff. So, which kind of leans into the whole chic technology that is going on in Breath of the Wild 1, which, kind of pulls a lot from that kind of style and that Mayan Aztec kind of architecture and stuff.
And we definitely see an expansion of some of the things in this trailer of that, Cap. Like we see some vehicles, Cap. We see him riding
Yeah.
some vehicles across the land and also flying through the sky on what looks
Yeah.
like some of that technology potentially. So
Yeah. Well, the interesting thing with that, Grizz, to go into that is it looks like it looks like things are kind of modular with those vehicles, and as if maybe the player characters created those platforms and
I
then
did
added.
think that as well. Do you reckon that's what it is? That'd be cool.
Yeah, well, it kind of looks a lot like, now people are saying it looks a lot like if you've ever played Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts, and it was kind of, you build your own vehicles and stuff, just almost like Lego, I guess, and it's kind of got the same kind of vibe going with these Tears of the Kingdom vehicles. So it looks like maybe you, I don't know, can find certain blocks and you kind of whack them together, and now all of a sudden you've got a little car/platform that scoots around.
And
so
maybe you can get certain upgrades and then you take it into the sky and go exploring the
Exactly.
Skylands, because they did look quite different, the one that you see him flying on and the one that he was kind of driving along the ground on. So
absolutely. Yeah,
it's
definitely.
cool.
It's different propulsion and stuff. Now they seem to be bringing back a lot of old enemies. Like there was a Gleeok that we saw, which is like a big 3-headed dragon. I think that first premiered in, like, the actual Gleeok enemy archetype premiered in the original Legend of Zelda on NES from memory. So they're bringing back some interesting enemy types, which again is really sort of invoking the nostalgia lens, which is awesome. I'm a big fan of that, because again, when I saw the enemy types, so they were just a lot were the exact same. They've got the big rock guys, they've got the big
the Bobakin, the little goblin-y looking dudes. Yeah,
they got all the variation of the Mobikins from little to small, and then they've got this new flying type enemy. But yeah, I'm just trying to think what else.
The Ancient Guardians were a bit different, Cap, in terms of the enemies. We saw some that were, I mean, the classic one you see from Breath of the Wild is the spider thing with all the legs that kind of
actually, good point.
Locks in and zaps you. But the Guardians we've seen this time, they obviously look very kind of, it's like that Aztec kind of vibe. But they were quite a bit larger and almost looked like almost like a giant kind of thing. So maybe we'll see.
But you're talking about the thing that it looked like it was made out of like blocks.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah. It literally looked like a big, like if you made a pixel animation of like a big giant, and it was literally like made out of like, I don't know, 12 blocks essentially. That's kind of like a big version of that. But yeah, and I mean, it looks like Link was using some of his old powers, like the whole stasis grabbing like magnetics and all that kind of shit. So a lot of
I wonder if they're holding a lot of that in the back pocket, because I feel like, I know that for Breath of the Wild, we kind of had a fair idea of what those powers were. We talked about this in the podcast before, whether we thought there would be new ones that were going to pop up.
I think there would definitely be new ones, dude.
Yeah.
I think it looks like his arm has been bound with some of the technology and has been burnt by something.
Color, wasn't it, Cap? That thing that he was using to elevate whatever the thing
it's like green instead of blue.
Was green instead of blue.
Yeah, which kind of fits in with the earlier trailers we've seen with some of the stuff going on. But yeah, I think just trying to think of other bits and pieces. So I suppose one of the big
I'd be curious
things
to ask you, Cap, about your take on the lore here, right? So we kind of we see this vision and we see some voice acting and stuff, which I'm sure we'll get into in a little bit. But it's kind of like Hyrule is being corrupted by this red, stormy kind of entity that's many enemies that are now taking over Hyrule. What are your thoughts on the overall? Is there, because we've talked about this before, how potential Tears of the Kingdom are scattered around Hyrule, and you're collecting these to
well, here I actually have another theory on what the name might mean.
Okay.
I think maybe there's been an uplift in the world, because some of the world looks like it's been fractured or something in the trailer, and maybe the previous civilization that seems to be kind of pointed to with all this technology that's kind of buried and hidden has been uplifted into the sky, and now it seems like it's slowly falling to the ground, and so that civilization is the kingdom, and the bits of it falling down to Hyrule are the Tears, and it's like Tears of the Kingdom.
Right, dude. Is that your take, or is this?
That's my take. That's what I reckon.
Okay. So
that's
what is this? So what is this red? Is this just Ganon's influence?
I think it's
Hyrule,
just Ganon, because you kind of it's pretty much a 1-to-1 direct kind of thing with what the colors were used for Calamity Ganon in the first game.
I guess so. There is some pretty startling imagery at the end where you see kind of Link reaching out to save a falling Zelda.
I think
Dod-
Zelda almost certainly dies in this game.
Really?
Yeah.
She's
I
gonna
think
get-
Zelda
she's
dies,
gonna
and
cark
then
it.
she like I'm guessing she acts as kind of like your Navi kind of navigator thing. So
Yeah, interesting.
maybe whether she's brought back as a ghost or some shit. I think that's probably what's
I
going to
actually
happen.
tried to do a bit of reading on where the different games fit into each other in terms of timeline.
Oh man, good
Well,
luck.
So there is a statement somewhere that I found that it's like they have purposefully left it this way, open to people's interpretation
Yeah.
of where they think. They haven't actually ever spelt out.
Look, they
where
have a
these
rough
games-
they have a rough timeline, and a lot of it is branching decisions between did Ganon win in A Link to the
Mm.
Past, and then that's out from there. Twilight Princess or some shit happens, and then from the other side, Wind Waker happens. And then did Hyrule flood or did it not? And then you've got Wind Waker versus Skyward Sword. It's just shit like that. So
Mhm.
they do have like an official, vague idea of where the games are linked, but yeah. Anyways, but
Now, Cap, Ganon has never been voice acted before. Or wasn't
No.
voice acted in Zelda. And
hang before you,
Okay, you go-
100%.
You go, yeah.
just before you say anything, we heard a voice on the trailer.
We did
We
hear a
still
voice
don't
in the
have
trailer.
confirmation as to whether that's Ganon or not.
Right. We do
But
not
we can
have
make a
confirmation.
pretty good assumption that it's probably Ganon because it sounds like a pretty good voice act. Like I was okay with it sounded like the classic, like,
Dude,
I don't know.
I'll
I
get
thought
to
it was
my
okay.
I'll get to my take on the trailer. I actually thought the voice acting and the soundscape as a whole in the trailer was not that good. If you listen to
Yeah,
Pikmin 4
I agree.
If you listen to Pikmin 4 off the back of this, and it's like, wow, this game sounds
Yeah.
fucking amazing.
I tell you what though, dude, I actually think when the main theme for Tears of the Kingdom kicks in on this trailer, that is one of the best pieces of gaming music that's ever been written. I'm telling you right.
Oh
now.
yeah, okay.
It's like
Yep.
da, 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 da.
Yeah,
It's just like
yeah.
it fucking goes off, dude. It's so
Yeah.
good.
Yeah,
But yeah, I don't know,
yeah,
Grizz.
okay.
I gotta be honest with you, dude. I actually wasn't that impressed by this trailer at all.
Yeah, I'm
Um,
the same as you.
One big
I-
thing for me was so this particular game
Hmm.
was born from what was supposed to be another DLC for Breath of the Wild. And then what they did is they turned this into another full-fledged game because they thought they had enough content. Now, we haven't seen all the content, I don't think, for this game. And I really hope that we get a really good deep dive into this game because I just feel like it's like it is Breath of the Wild 2. But is there enough content for me yet to sort of delineate between the two? Like, not really. It just feels like a DLC for me.
Kat, this is your most anticipated game.
I know.
For the
Dude, I have
year.
fucking tattoos of Legend of Zelda. I have I have a very, very, very big what do you call it?
Tattoo. Majora's
No.
Mask.
No,
Love.
can't think of the word. Expectations. I have very big
Yes,
expectations
right.
for this game.
Penis.
Yeah, that too. But I don't know, Grizz. There's just something about it. Like, it made me excited for the prospect of another Zelda game.
Yeah.
But in terms of what I wanted from a Legend of Zelda trailer for a brand new Legend of Zelda game, especially in a mainline 3D Zelda, that has been in development for a fair while and has been delayed a couple of times. I wanted way more than this.
Look, Kat, I have to 100% agree with you there. Like, it actually just didn't catch me. And even you saying that one piece in the soundtrack where it kicked in with the main theme, I just felt the sound design as a whole in the trailer didn't capture me as the first thing I noticed. But then just overall, the stuff they showed, the abilities they showed, the enemies, it was stuff we've seen before. It looked very similar to Breath of the Wild 1 for me. And like you say, maybe this was kind of a DLC. And even the lore and the story didn't really capture me either. And I honestly reckon, Cap, if there was no Breath of the Wild 1 and no other Zelda existed and this was the first of the IP to come to me and I watched this trailer, I would just kind of be like, oh yeah, that seems pretty cool. But I wouldn't be hyping it up. So
yeah, I don't know. I just really think they, the first Breath of the Wild trailer where they actually gave us gameplay, that trailer is like goated in my mind, right? It is like that just generated so much fucking hype in my mind. Whereas this was like, okay, we've seen this, we've seen that. What's new for this game? So I don't know. I think there's still a lot of room to move for this. I'd really,
will there
I
be
need to
another
see
trailer,
more.
Cap? Will there be another trailer before this drops, or is that it? Is that it now
Oh,
for
dude,
us?
there would have to be. I don't think that's enough. I really don't. Unless they're going to delay again, dude. That's the
Oh,
only thing I can think.
Well, dude, I mean, fuck, I reckon they're going to sell a lot just off it being Breath
Of course
the
they
Wild
will.
too.
Absolutely.
Mm.
And
Well,
it's Breath of the Wild 2, dude. People are going to buy. I mean, I've already pre-ordered it. Like, I'm going to play this game, and I'm probably going to thoroughly enjoy it still. But I don't know. I just was hoping for a little bit more. I have to agree with you on the certain aspects of the sound. Still, again, that theme music is just so fucking tight.
But
I love it.
Maybe
But,
I'll re-listen to it and have a good listen to the theme
Yeah,
music again.
when I heard Ganon, well, what is probably Ganon's voice, a lot of people are saying they think it's Matt Mercer, but there's Matt Mercer hasn't obviously released anything because I would assume he'd have to keep that hush
That'd
hush.
be pretty cool though.
It may be.
Yeah.
But look, I don't know. I thought the voice was pretty good, but I was kind of hoping for a more. The voice kind of gave me this feeling of like a warlord, not like a conniving, intelligent, clever, smart villain. Which I don't know. I was just hoping we might reach that with Ganon, with Ganon, you know. And I guess also we still don't really know like what iteration of this particular, you know, Ganon. You know, you have the Ganondorf iteration, and then you've got all different kind of variations on that whole Ganon thing. So, like, what are we going to get? Kind of looks like we've got the, I can't think of the race of desert sort of dwelling people, but looks like maybe there might be a link between them and the zombie that was there. So maybe it's like a previous king or something, and you know, Ganon's being reincarnated through that body, which, you know, would be very similar to Ocarina of Time, for example. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But again, yeah, there just wasn't enough in the trailer for me. It's basically that simple.
I know you would have been looking at this.
Gerudo. Thank you, Jim.
You would have been really focusing on any performance drops that you could potentially see in the gameplay parts of this. Did anything stand out to you as being jank?
No. I didn't think so, but I did think that there was a pretty low grass density that I saw.
Yeah, well,
but I don't know.
Good. Obviously, they're trying to tune it to work on the Switch.
Yeah,
maybe the Switch Pro. Maybe, who knows?
Yeah,
but
I don't know. I tell you what, though, that they were sharing images on Twitter of Zelda holding a Sheik Slate. Now, if you remember what the Sheik Slate kind of looked like in the first game, it was kind of a little bit more Wii U looking. A bit more sort of clunky, thick tablet, I guess, that you use to interact with to do certain things, like look at your map and bits and pieces. But on Twitter, they've been sharing a new version of her holding the Sheik Slate, and that new version is a bit more Switch-like. Now, I tell you what, if that Switch releases and it looks like that, I might be swayed to trade my Switch in because it's pretty fucking cool.
It looks pretty cool, does it? Yeah.
Yeah, it looks pretty fucking rad. So, but yeah, look, I don't know if we want to harp on too much longer about our sort of Tears of the Kingdom woes. Look, I think there's potential for a really great game here. What we've seen so far really kind of struck me as, here's the DLC ideas we had. I need to see a full trailer of how they intend to flesh those out into what I believe to be a new Zelda game. Biggest one for me, Grizz, and I've said this every time we've spoken about Breath of the Wild, give me dungeons. If you don't give me dungeons, I'm going to be so fucking disappointed. Because what were you doing in those years developing Breath of the Wild 2, i.e. Tears of the Kingdom?
The captain wants themed dungeons, all right?
Themed dungeons. Give it to me. I just, in my mind, that is the classic Zelda trope. Without themed dungeons, you know, scattered throughout the land. I don't know.
Link to the Past. Oh man, the dungeons in that. And, and Ocarina
Mate,
of Time.
Most
also.
of the games.
Yeah.
Do you know what? One of my favorite Zelda games of all time is Twilight Princess, and fuck, they do a good job of their dungeons.
Do you know I have never? It pissed me off, Twilight Princess. The fucking time aspects. Yeah, couldn't manage it. Mate.
You're thinking of Majora's Mask.
Oh, that's the one. Yeah, sorry, Majora's Mask. Couldn't manage it.
I mean, there was time in Twilight Princess in the sense that time moves forward. Yeah.
How am I supposed to do it in a video game? It's impossible.
Yeah, well, I mean, for Majora's Mask, that's always been a big pet peeve for a lot of people. But I tell you what, mate, I played Majora's Mask to like just some astronomical time amounts. So I wish I had a timer as a kid, because I played that game so much. I was a page boy for my babysitter, and she got me Majora's Mask as a present for being the page boy.
Wait, you were a page boy? What, hang on.
Hang on, ring bearer? Is that is
Yeah,
you
the
call it
page boy.
boy?
Page boy are the guys at church that hold the priest pages, aren't they?
I don't know. I think I'm getting mixed up. Oh, I held the rings. I was like,
Right.
yeah.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Is
Yeah.
I thought it was the same thing. Maybe I'm getting mixed up. Anyways, I was a ring bearer, child. So I walked up the aisle with the rings, that kind of thing. Anyways, I got that as a
that's so
gift
good,
because I
dude.
cracked the
Oh,
shits because I didn't want to take the rings up up the aisle because I was too embarrassed.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyways, I played that game a lot. I played it with with one of those old primer strategy guides, and I just
Did
remember
you?
the art. Yeah,
Oh,
as a
shit,
kid.
dude. Yeah, right.
Yeah, because there was all these masks. Obviously, you get.
Yeah. But that was
I
hard,
mean,
man.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You needed a strategy guide to figure out. I mean, the internet barely existed back then, so.
Yeah, they had
Anyways,
hotlines. You could call the Nintendo hotline up to give you.
yeah, it
hints.
cost you like $50 a minute. But anyways, where I don't really know. I just wanted to tell you that I had this fucking sick strategy guide that had awesome illustrations, and as a kid,
It's probably worth
that
money,
strategy
yeah.
guide was just like it was my Bible. It was my freaking. It was how some kids had Pokédexes and stuff, and that was just what they read all the time. That was what I read all the time. The fucking
Yeah, right.
Majora's Mask strategy guide, dude. So
Fuck,
so
that's
fucking
cool,
dope.
man.
Anyway,
Very
so
cool.
yeah, overall, not super jazzed about the trailer. I mean, it was nice that we got one. Don't get me
Mhm.
wrong,
Mhm.
but I'm hoping for a actual deep dive.
Yeah.
Show me what you've got trailer. Like, show me why this game is called Breath of the Wild 2.
I don't reckon they will. I reckon they know they're going to fucking sell bank off this.
Yeah.
They're just going to release it potentially.
They probably will, dude, and that's going to bother me. But I'm sure
Yeah.
the game will be fine. I'm sure it'll be a good game. It's just
Are you going to pre-order this, Cap? You're going to pre-order
I've
it?
already done it. I pre-ordered
it?
the collector's edition. Yeah.
Right. Very good.
Because I'm
man.
a freaking Zelda nerd. Can't help myself. So, yeah. Jim, I'm telling you
And
right now,
that's
this
Jim.
is not a hot take. This is 100% how I feel
what's-
about it.
Okay. Oh, Jim, this is serious business right here. Cap and I didn't speak to each other about how we felt about that trailer till tonight. I kid you not. And we
Yeah.
both watched that and came away with the exact same opinion.
Yeah.
So,
But look, I know a lot of people are super hyped for Breath of the Wild 2. I mean, the first game's phenomenal. And again, if they're just going to take the same formula and, recommit it to a cartridge and call it number 2 on your Switch, that's fine. And I know they'll sell a lot. But yeah, I was just hoping for a bit more. I don't know. We'll see what happens. I'm looking forward to more trailers. But yeah, if I can go. Breath of the Wild 2, i.e. Tears of the Kingdom, i.e. maybe DLC 3 for Breath of the Wild. We'll see. That'll fucking get them steaming. All right. Now, Grizz, they also gave us a bit of an insight into Pikmin. Now, Pikmin is not a franchise that we're particularly well versed with. But I tell you what, I thought the trailer looked okay.
So for those that don't know, Pikmin is a real-time strategy puzzle game created by someone, published by Nintendo, focuses on a horde of these plant-like creatures called Pikmin, and you kind of use these little plant-like creatures to collect items, destroy obstacles, avoid fighting things, and you kind of just like follow them around in a little pack, and they do stuff for you.
But they follow you around. And
they follow you around, yeah.
Yeah, but you depending on their color, depends on what their function is. They might.
Does look pretty cool, Cap.
It
I will
actually
say.
Yeah. So, are you familiar with Shigeru Miyamoto, Grizz?
No, that's who I said was the guy created by. Yeah, no, I'm not.
Yeah.
Cap, what does he make?
Well, he's worked on Mario and Zelda. He's one of.
Has
If
he?
you look at a
Okay.
picture
Right,
of him,
right,
you will 100%. You will recognize his face, and this is
Okay.
his love child of a game. Basically, this is the game that he really chucked his weight behind.
Okay. There has been there's been a few other Pikmin games. Cap, was there one on 64 or something? Was there?
I believe there's been 3 others.
3 others.
Given this is Pikmin 4.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's a fucking good point. There could be fucking other ones too, potentially, mate. I don't know.
No, you're probably right. I don't know for sure because I've never played a Pikmin game before, but I'm very familiar with the IP and kind of the vague. I played a lot of Smash Brothers, and Olimar's probably the worst Smash character ever, but he's also a pain in the ass because
Who's Olimar? Is he like the main character?
He's like the little astronaut guy. So your main character is
right,
like the
yeah,
little
yep.
astronaut dude. But yeah, look, I don't know how deep we want to go into this, but basically,
I want
looks
to
like
say this, Cap. The people on the
Yep.
internet are going nuts over
Yeah.
this little dog called Oatchi, I think is that how you say it? Oatchi.
Yep.
On the Nintendo website, he is written as the resident good boy and dependable partner, and he is like this cute, adorable yellow little dog that kind of helps you do stuff. But lots and lots of people seen this in the trailer and been posting on their Twitter saying how they can't wait to pick up Pikmin 4 to pet the doggo and, you know, do all those doggo-like things that you do.
It seems like the dog kind of does other functions like break pots and all kinds of bits and pieces. So you kind of use them. I think you can also ride the dog as well. So you've got like a mount, but the dog seems to have like a stamina gauge and shit. So I'm guessing you probably can't ride it for long or whatever. But yeah, so it looks like there's new Pikmin coming, Grizz. There's
7
an ice
Pikmin games, all right? So, Cap, all right.
7?
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, no, I was just being a dickhead. I wouldn't have a clue. Yeah, that's actually a lot more than I thought there was. I thought maybe if there was, this was the 4th mainline game, maybe there was one extra or something. But anyways, 7's a lot. So yeah, anyways, new enemy types by the looks of things. Also the environments, I think they look quite nice. It's kind of got this kind of, you know, you're a small person, like a small little kind of figure in a big world kind of deal.
Yeah,
kind of
I
run
like
around
that.
in these environments in the outdoors.
You know what it reminded me of, Cap, was It Takes Two, where you end up in the outside
absolutely
area. And
it's like that Honey, I Shrunk the Kids kind of vibe, but maybe not that sort of minuteness. But yeah, so looks really cool. I think the whole story is kind of like Earth has suffered some kind of post-apocalypse thing, and you're just floating around doing Pikmin shit in people's backyards now that humanity's gone or some shit. So yeah, but it also looks like you might be able to make your own kind of astronaut character rather than just inherit the single kind of look. So you can
customization,
do a bit of customization. But yeah, looks pretty fun. Again, new Pikmin. One of the new Pikmin was an ice type, so you can throw the Pikmin at enemies, and you throw enough of the ice type, it'll shatter the enemy. And you know, some of the boss fights look pretty cool. But yeah, I don't know. This might be the thing that gets me into Pikmin, Grizz, just for a bit of fun. I don't know. I've never really been super drawn to Pikmin.
Would this be classified as probably not an indie game, Cap? Is it? No, definitely not an indie game. So
probably not. I mean, they've been developed by one of the biggest gaming studios in the world, so don't know. Probably not indie. Though I don't know. They sometimes they make some decisions that a small indie studio might make, but I don't know. For example, their Nintendo Live services. Sometimes you think, Jesus Christ, what are you guys thinking? Anyways, but yeah, Pikmin 4 actually looks pretty interesting. So I guess we'll see what happens with Pikmin. And yeah, I don't know. I think this will probably be the last trailer for Pikmin 4 before it releases. Grizz, it looks like
100%.
When was it coming out?
Yeah, we got a release date, 21st of July.
21st of July. Oh, that's actually later than Breath of the Wild.
So maybe we'll see another snippet.
Maybe we'll see it. Maybe we'll see a double direct with a 30-minute Tears of the Kingdom deep dive that is addressed to me, saying this is how the game is different.
The double D.
And then followed by another 5-minute trailer for Pikmin 4. Well, maybe we'll see. But yeah, so there you go. It's probably the two biggest kind of reveals that they had at the direct. Now, there was one thing I wanted to kind of discuss, Grizz, and that was Baton Kaitos 1 and 2 remasters. Now, I am pretty excited for this one. Basically, it's they're an old GameCube JRPG that I never really got around to as a kid, but I remember people talking about it now. Why I am excited about this, from what I remember people saying is the story is really, really serviceable. It does a really good job of, well, it's just a good narrative, I guess. But the remaster looks really good. Looks like they've done a really good job with all the textures and stuff, and sort of brought it out into the modern era a little bit more. But the cool thing is the combat and stuff, Grizz. So in the world of Baton Kaitos, I can't remember what they call the cards, but basically there's cards scattered all through the land. Some things are already in cards, and then you can turn other shit into cards. But you then play those cards during battle. So, you know, you might get like a health potion, that's a card, but then you can mix that card with certain other things. Like I think I think you could do like honey and shit like that, and then you'd get like a better potion that you could use in battle. But it's also the same with your attacks and stuff. So you're playing these cards that you get from enemies and all this other shit. So I think the combat's quite interesting and fun, and from what I understand, quite a good kind of iteration on the whole card battling kind of thing, and probably one of the first, really.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm quite excited to sink my teeth into this big old JRPG. But
So they're
yeah.
releasing both of them, Cap, are they? Is there
yeah,
one
they're
and two?
releasing 1 and 2
Is
as
it?
a single HD remaster. So I just
Very
play the
cool.
whole
I
thing.
like that. Yeah.
But I think the second game actually takes place before the first game. So I don't know how important that's going to be to play them out of order, if that makes sense. So whether you play the first game first, which came after the second game,
Mhm.
well, timeline-wise, it became before the second game. But then which one should you play, Grizz?
Well, I guess, I don't know. It's a good point. I mean, if you were going to go watch the Star Wars movies, Cap, these days, where would you start?
Actually, do you know what? That is a very interesting question then, should you ask that. There is a recommended watch order for the Star Wars movies based on the arc of Darth Vader's journey. And I think you start off with episode 1, and then you skip to like episode 3,
Yeah,
and
it's
then
all
you go
sorts
back
of
and
fucked up,
watch
isn't it? Yeah.
2 and 3, and then you go back in and watch 5 and 6 or so. 5 and 6.
I'd be
or
keen to
some
do
shit.
that. I actually want to convince my kids to watch it with me. Because, I mean, you know what, man? I've actually missed some of the new ones. I haven't even watched them at all. But I remember the iconic ones back in the day, Return of the Jedi, and those were literally, we had those on VCR tapes.
Oh,
and stuff
dude,
like
so did I.
Yeah.
I actually reckon I watched like A New Hope so many times that the film in my VCR, not the is that what you called the actual device, the cartridge? Yeah, the film was like broken. It was just rewound so many times, just absolutely rooted. But yeah, anyways, so Bat and Kaitos, Grizz,
Okay,
looks
well,
pretty
Kat,
cool.
One that I wanted to quickly discuss with you, my selection from the bunch to expand further on, is the Dead Cells Castlevania crossover piece.
Yeah.
So this has already been announced. We kind of already knew this was coming, but I kind of wanted to talk about this anyway. If you haven't played Dead Cells and you're a fan of roguelites, things like Hades, there's another one that springs to mind, Undermined, and a few others. This is a fantastic roguelike game. The DLCs are implemented interestingly, Cap, because this game as a whole is already a Metroidvania, which is kind of, you basically need to unlock certain moves, jumps, and bits and pieces to progress. Characteristic of the Castlevania games, where you'd get to a bit and you can't quite reach that bit yet till you've unlocked something. The DLCs are walled behind you having certain abilities and moves. So if you go buy this off the bat, you're probably not going to get to the Castlevania DLC, I don't think. Which is kind of why I like this, though. I think this is going to be really cool. What we do know that there's going to be a lot of soundtracks that are going to be built in from Castlevania. We've actually already heard some in the trailer. And the Castlevania soundtrack is like really good, so I can't wait to hear it. Weapons, so the whips, daggers, swords, tomes, holy water, glyphs, all that, and some of the bosses and enemies as well. So we know that there is Death and Dracula himself that you can face. So yeah, it seems cool. I think I will probably pick this up. I have all the DLCs to date. I don't think I've beaten them all yet, but I am a fair way through the game. I think I've cleared it a couple of times, but there's some DLCs that are very late game that I haven't got to yet. So yeah, give this, keep this on your list. And if you are looking for a good new roguelite to play, and you're a fan of Rogue Legacy or Hades and stuff like that, is a better time to pick it up than right now, while we're going to have this new DLC soon, Capo.
Yep, freaking sweet, mate. I'll probably just watch you play it. I did play a little bit Dead Cells, but yeah, I think the most striking thing for me with Dead Cells is just the way it does its pixel art. It's kind of like,
it's very unique, isn't it?
It's very unique. It's almost like they're rendering a 3D sprite in just 2D, so you can kind of get an idea of things moving. Well, I guess the light reacting to like if it was in 3D. Pixel basis, but then it is 2D, so it's some of the animations look unbelievable. It's such a well animated game. It's even just to look at that is worth it for that game. But
hugely
so-
expansive in terms of the items and stuff. You don't realize that until you start realizing the items you find, you can see them, that you've come across them so far, and they're
Oh yeah, for sure.
represented as these little baubles in your main home, and then you start realize how many empty baubles there are there, and it's like, oh my god, the
Yeah,
game is
pretty mental.
massive. Yeah, it's huge. The scope on it's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Yeah, freaking radical. Now, there was obviously a lot of other shit that they announced during this particular direct, Grizz. I think probably the other huge announcement was the fact that they shadow dropped a Metroid Prime remaster. So this is the game that I think came out on GameCube originally, from memory. This was the first person kind of 3D Metroid platforming Metroidvania kind of style game. So very, very, very beloved game, to the point where I think their most recent iteration that they were working on was cancelled because I don't think Nintendo was happy with the progress of that game. So I think that was, I can't remember what they were calling it codename wise. But anyway, so yeah, Metroid Prime has been remastered. And I tell you what, the textures on the trailer look fucking mint.
They look pretty good,
Really
hey?
snazzy.
I'd love to
Yeah.
see a side by side just to see what it did look like, because it does look very nice.
It definitely didn't look this good. Let me tell you that much for fucking free. I remember playing it at a friend's house because I never had it, but and I mean, this might be a good opportunity for me to go back and enjoy it. But yeah, it looks very snazzy in the trailer. So yeah, there you go. Now they also announced that they're going to be doing Game Boy and Game Boy Advance games on Nintendo Switch Online.
Some of these are
now,
available now, Cap, I believe.
They are indeed. So, I mean, the two services are available with the following games. On Game Boy, you can play Tetris, Mario Land 2, Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening DX, great game, by the way. Gargoyle's Quest, another great game. Game & Watch Gallery 3, Alone in the Dark, New Nightmare, Metroid 2, Wario Land 3, and Kirby's Dream Land. And then for Game Boy Advance, they've got Super Mario Advance 4, WarioWare Inc., Kuru Renin. I fucking don't know what the fuck that is, but it obviously exists. Mario Kart Super Circuit, Mario and Luigi's Superstar Saga, which is a fucking baller game. So fucking good, dude. And another baller game, Legend of Zelda Minish Cap. I actually started speedrunning that a while back. That was
Cap,
fun.
watching the clip of these, I've never seen the Legend of Zelda Minish Cap, and I tell you what, the art style on that looks fucking awesome.
Yeah,
Can't
it's
believe that
very
I've never
reminiscent
seen it.
of, what do you call it, Wind Waker, because it's
It
got the
is.
same kind of vague art style, but again, 2D because it's on a GBA, not the 3D kind of thing.
Is it a good game?
Cell shaded. Oh, it's a ripper. Yeah, definitely worth a playthrough if you're looking for an old Zelda game to play. That's a really, really fun game.
Yeah, and you know, this is alongside the Switch Online thing is becoming ultimate value, Cap, at the moment.
Yeah,
Because
absolutely.
you
You're
get
getting a lot
access
of
to
bang for buck.
you get access to the SNES and NES libraries as well, where there's a bunch of good games. There's Yoshi's Island amongst all the others in there too. So
Yep.
it's crazy.
Yeah,
to just keep
and there's a
putting
lot
this
of other
out.
ones on the horizon, Grizz. Like they said that Metroid Fusion and Golden Sun are coming to the GBA sort of offerings. So yeah, looks pretty exciting. Now, there's a lot of other shit that was announced, Grizz. For example, there's Xenoblade Chronicles 3 DLC that they're dropping soon.
Yeah. You'd be
they
excited
also
for the Fashion Dreamer, Cap, hey? The
Oh
influence
yeah,
of
absolutely.
Fashion
Man. I
Dreamer
can't wait
game,
to live
yeah.
out my dreams as a brand ambassador and ultimate influencer. So that's going to be good. Looking forward to that. What else have they got, Grizz? They had this game that came out in when was this? I think it was like 2010 or some shit. It's an older game called the new one's called Ghost Trick. This one's Ghost Trick Phantom Detective.
Yeah.
You basically play this detective that's died, and you're a poltergeist that's interacting with items to like
That's
stop
kinda
murders
cool.
and shit like
Yeah,
that. So
right.
I think it's made by the same guy who made the Ace lawyer thing games. So there was that.
Tron, Cap, which is just
There was a
bizarre
Tron
to
thing
me.
as well.
That movie is quite old now, so for them to be
Oh, yeah.
releasing Tron the video games is great.
Big
But that's kind of
time.
like a puzzle adventure in the Tron universe is what it looks like.
Yeah, I didn't actually have a look at that because I just thought, I probably won't play that. So.
Cap, there is a Disney Mickey Mouse illusion game that is like a 2D side scroller platformer that actually looks pretty dang good. If you've ever played any of the original SNES, or it might have even been on Sega Master System or something, there was some Mickey Mouse Disney games, but this one looks particularly fun. Yep.
Yeah. Yep. But yeah, look, there was a bunch of shit that we'll probably be here all night talking about, and
Agreed.
you know, a lot of remasters. I mean, Katamari got another one as well. And we actually, well, probably one of the other big things to talk about really quickly, Grizz, is that Advance Wars that was delayed following the Ukraine war
That's right.
kicking off.
Yeah.
Initially, this game was supposed to come out, but because it's war references, Nintendo kind of pulled it back and decided not to release it around that time. So, Advance Wars 1 and 2 Reboot Camp is dated for release on April 21st. So, that's the other big one. But yeah, if you're interested in what came out in the direct, go and have a look. There's a bunch of indie games and stuff that had trailers and bits and pieces pop out. So pretty fucking excited. I'm actually quite excited for Advance Wars. I think that looks pretty cool.
Looks good. Yeah, absolutely.
Going to give that a crackerino. Now, Grizz, one thing that we needed to quickly go through was the poll for this week.
Oh,
my
yeah,
friend.
the poll. Yes.
So,
Bring it
yeah,
up.
we probably should have talked about this earlier, given the topic, but that's okay. Oh, this is not the right poll. I'm going to have to just quickly scooch over to the right one. But yeah, basically this week we asked the following question. So Nintendo posted a new direct and gave us another peek at The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. We wanted to know whether this new trailer met people's expectations.
Yes.
So Grizz, do you want to go through the answers?
Yep, absolutely, mate. 36% of the people said no, it didn't meet their expectation, and 63% of the people said it did. So, Cap, I assume both you and I are in the no bucket there.
Yeah. But I mean, really, when you see that split, I mean, it's not, it's not like 10% said no. It's 36% is a fair whack. So I don't know. I think Nintendo's got a bit of work to do, to be quite honest. But yeah, we'll wait and see what they can do. Now, Grizz, outside of the world of Nintendo, Hogwarts Legacy has released. I've not played it. I believe you haven't played it. I also believe Pav hasn't played it yet. Probably will get there eventually. I was kind of waiting for it to maybe hit a game service like Xbox fucking Game Pass or something like that. I just didn't want to pay $70 for a Hogwarts game because, man, I'm not really a huge Harry Potter fan. I read 1 or 2 books when I was a kid, but
I'm the same.
It's not.
I enjoyed
thing.
the movies, and I've actually read all the books as well. But I just didn't think the actual gameplay looked like it appealed to me, Cap. But kind of the more I watch it and the more I see of it and the acclaim it's getting, it's kind of making me want to go and give it a whirl.
I'm definitely in the same boat, Grizz. It's definitely looking like seems like the story's pretty good. Also seems like the gameplay's pretty bloody good as well. Looks like they've paid a pretty good attention to detail when it comes to, I guess, flashing out the kind of Hogwarts world. I think there has been some issues with just general kind of what do you call it,
the
stability
PC
and shit. But
I think the PC, you need quite a good PC to run it. Even people with some good PCs are getting issues. You got to optimize it with settings and bits and pieces and do things which best game in the world ever made, Cap. Elden Ring had the same problems, mate. So
it did. So just remember, even the giants suffer and have Achilles' heels. Okay, so don't you worry. But yes,
it's reviewing well, Cap, as well, isn't it?
It's reviewing very positively, despite significant backlash regarding obviously J.K. Rowling having quite a well advertised anti-trans agenda. Also probably a bit of a trigger warning, I guess, for this particular topic. But yeah, it seems to be reviewing incredibly well. So I think, it seems like the devs have done a pretty good job of bringing us what a lot of people have been hoping for a long time as, a really well balanced and fleshed out Harry Potter RPG. Looks like the combat's not too bad. I think
I just really like I like the flying, and it just looks so open, and there seems to be lots of little secrets like if you want the best thing in the game, you need to come and do this, and if I could hit all these things and do this. I like that obscure stuff built into games to get rewards. I think that's quite cool. So
I think it also seems like there's like you can't get broom flight quite all that quickly. Like you've got to jump through a fair few hoops, and I think it's a little bit off the main story quest from what I understand.
Right? Yeah.
Jim's also mentioned that there's no Quidditch in there, but I'm pretty sure this game's set in like the 1500s or some shit. So maybe Quidditch wasn't invented yet.
DLC Quidditch? Yeah.
I don't know. But yeah, it could be DLC. So yeah, I mean, I guess you can suspend your belief between, I guess, the mainline Harry Potter stuff and this game because they kind of can take their artistic direction because those movies hadn't happened yet. But so they might be like, that's why there's no Quidditch in there. But I don't know. But anyways, look, I think the game looks really like pretty fucking good actually. So look, obviously, if you're the kind of person that doesn't want to support I guess creators or of IPs like this when, their, I guess, what do you call it? Their opinions so, dramatically just, from what should be fair. Don't do it. But also there's been a lot of pretty rough, I guess, just general interactions across social media and stuff for people that has decided to play these games.
There's no way to cut it nicely, is there, Cap? There's no winner here. I think if we didn't talk about this on OGR, we're doing a disservice because we like to cover the news as a whole, even the controversial
we're not gonna admit it because it is sensitive. Obviously, we're going to treat it with sensitivity, but we're not going to admit the fact that it is happening.
So I guess ultimately, Cap, when you talk this through, J.K. Rowling will be making money from this game through royalties.
Yep.
And we do know that she also pushes this anti-transgender that we don't agree with, and we think it's awful, and we think she's a really awful person. But ultimately, she's getting royalties from Harry Potter Lego. She's getting royalties from the movies, the books, the games, everything else.
Yeah, it's all ongoing. I mean, she doesn't need this game to keep those $1 billion rolling in.
No, and I don't think people should feel guilty about playing Harry Potter video game, Cap. I don't. But if you do feel guilty, then I would suggest there's a lot of fantastic ways that you can support trans people and equality. There's a lot of great campaigns. We're going to put some in the show notes if you would like to have a look at those.
Yeah, absolutely. Go and donate to a charity.
But there you go. But I don't think they should feel guilty for playing this game, Cap. It looks amazing. It's reviewing well. It might even be a potential candidate for Game of the Year this year. We shall
it's definitely
see.
looking like it's probably going to shape up as such. But yeah, Grizz, it is pumping a lot of records.
Is it really?
So
right.
Big time. Like I believe now. God, do I have the correct thing here for this? Okay, here we go. SteamDB, which tracks concurrent players on the PC platform Steam, Grizzly Gaming recorded 783,277 concurrent players on Hogwarts Legacy as of 1 p.m. on Saturday, making it the second largest player count ever recorded in a 24-hour time span. That's second to PUBG Battlegrounds.
Jeez, there you go, mate. And it's a single player game, whereas PUBG is a multiplayer.
Yep.
Interesting.
Now, it's also the 8th largest peak on Steam of all time and is the third largest ranked single player game, trailing Elden Ring at 953,000 and Cyberpunk at 1.2 mil. So there you fucking go. It's pumping some pretty big numbers. Like a lot of people are playing this game.
Looking very juicy.
And I think on Twitch it actually set a record as well. Now, where the heck? Anyways, I don't know where I fucking put the link, but
most
I think Twitch
viewership.
It was most concurrent Twitch viewership of all time. So it's punching some pretty big numbers. I think it was 350,000. No, that's something else. Don't worry. Anyways, but yeah, so there you go. So some pretty big fucking shit. So yeah, looking pretty good. We'll probably, I don't know, check in with that game at some point once it hits. Well, for me, definitely once it hits like an Xbox Live. It is. Who made this game? Was it EA? Did EA do this game?
That's a very good question, Capo. I didn't write it down. Quick Google will tell you, I guess. Have a look.
Google, no.
Yeah.
Avalanche Studio.
Warner
Brothers Games. Yeah. So I don't know if it might not ever hit a.
It might not. Yeah.
A thing.
You know what?
I thought it was EA,
but discounted either.
Yeah, actually true, because it's a Harry Potter game. It'll just be like every other major IP, like a Nintendo kind of thing, where it just never gets discounted. But anyways, if you want to play the game, fucking go and play it. But yeah, so there you go, Hogwarts freaking Legacy. Now, Grizz, something we wanted to kind of quickly touch on. Something interesting and something you brought to my attention, because I mean I hadn't even fucking thought about the fact that this thing even existed recently.
Yeah.
But maybe you want to run us through this one.
Yeah,
mate. What's
absolutely.
going down?
Facebook gaming platform isn't doing so well, folks. I'm going to give you a couple of statistics here, but essentially in the last year, the hours watched on the platform have declined by over half, 56%.
Oh, that
Um,
is fucking brutal.
In Q3 21, Facebook shut down its dedicated gaming app, which they had because it wasn't getting enough use. Unique channels streaming on the platform went from 2.17 million and lost over 2/3 of its unique stream channels. Now, Cap, the existing channels that stream on Facebook gaming, 2/3 of those are mobile games. People streaming mobile games. You're probably, I don't know, what would that be, like gambling and Candy Crush and stuff, or I don't know, like Worm.io and things. So I don't know,
you're
man.
probably not wrong. I've never really.
It's always struck me as being strange, Cap. Have you ever sat down and watched any gaming streams on Facebook gaming?
Yeah, I kind of have, and I agree. And I think it's just because of its implementation, dude. Because you compare it to something like Twitch, which is completely separate from a lot of other social media stuff. It's like YouTube, right? You go to YouTube and you watch videos. You go to Twitch and you watch live streams.
Yeah.
You don't go to Facebook and go and watch fucking gaming content creators. Like you go to Facebook and see your fucking nan accidentally type marketplace into the fucking status bar because she's trying to find marketplace in the search bar. Shit, like that's where you go to Facebook for.
Dude,
right?
the only time I've ever watched gaming in there is when I'm in my homepage and somehow some random bloke just appears playing like Call of Duty or something because it's like a sponsored thing or there's something just there. I never actually go out of my way to watch like live streams in there. Yeah,
and I think it's because they kind of they've just shoehorned everything into Facebook. Some things have taken off, like I think Marketplace has done really well. But
Marketplace is fantastic.
But yeah, I think Facebook gaming just never really made any sense to me because I think the other thing was, Grizz, I just thought it was really weird that people could use their Facebook account to comment on videos and stuff. It just looked really bizarre.
Yeah.
So I just don't think it ever.
There's no real gaming alias on there, is there? You can't be like, I don't know. That's
no.
I think a big thing about gamers is there is a big contingent of gamers that don't like their real world to know
they want
gamers.
a degree of anonymity in their tagging and everything.
Yeah,
hide behind the mask kind of thing. And the way some people fucking carry on these fucking gaming platforms, you can fucking see that's probably why they're not using Facebook, mate, because they got to bind it to their fucking real world identity. Can't be fucking talking shit on bloody Facebook gaming. But yeah, I'm not surprised, Chris. Honestly, I'm surprised it lasted this long. I mean, Microsoft couldn't make Mixer work.
That's very true. Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how long it takes for this game to shit the bed. I mean, not game, fucking service.
There you go. Panda's come in and said Facebook biggest stream game is GTA 5.
That's interesting.
That is interesting. Yeah.
That kind of doesn't surprise me.
RP.
Actually.
Yeah.
And it would have to be the RP sector, wouldn't it?
Absolutely, I would say, yeah.
I've seen actually. I know a few GTA 5 streamers.
Doesn't Jack Hutto? Didn't he go across to
Hutto,
Facebook?
And that makes sense because he's posted a bunch of shit about streaming on Facebook. So I don't know what the deal is there. Maybe they're making it better over there on Facebook for some weird reason,
all right,
which I could not even tell you.
The reason why I found this story is because Jack Hutto said, I think I'm coming back to Twitch because Facebook gaming is dying, and linked this story.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's how I actually got hold of this story.
Something must have pushed them to go over there. And so that makes me wonder whether that was like a Facebook kind of thing where Facebook literally were paying creators to go over there and do it, which they've done in the past. They continue to do so, I guess. But and for some reason was GTA 5 roleplay particularly big on that. I don't know.
Yeah, they must have pulled some RPs across, I reckon, which is probably why it's still doing quite well on the platform.
Yeah. Would make sense. But yeah, there you go. Facebook gaming. If you've got an account there, you might not fucking have it for too much longer. So there you fucking go. Now, Grizz, I want to know how your gaming's going.
Oh, mate. Do you want me to start with the how your gaming's going?
Tell me how your gaming's going.
All right, mate. Well, I've been playing Warzone 2, Capo. My gaming's going actually pretty good right now. I'm kind of in between games. There's nothing that I'm smashing on with. I've kind of got a few that I am like playing very irregularly. God of War being one of those. I'm nearly through that.
I need to jump back into Ragnarok. That reminds me.
Still got that. But I've been playing Warzone with my brother, and my eldest daughter's best friend's dad, who we had over for tea on Saturday, because he plays Warzone 2, and he's like, "Yeah, you should come play with us." I was like, "All right." So I went and installed it, and fuck, terrible at the game. Terrible at the game, but it's good fun, man. DMZ is great. They're actually overhauling DMZ mode, Cap. They're retuning it and giving it a bit of a birthday and making it a bit more complex and things.
Wicked.
So that's should be cool.
I'm a big fan of that. I actually really liked the DMZ mode, but I just thought there wasn't enough going on to.
Yeah.
Like, I liked the idea of it was almost like a Tarkov, like a bit more casual. Like,
Yeah.
but
I agree.
also it
Yeah.
was just way too casual to the point
Yeah,
where it was
too
just
casual.
boring.
Yeah. I think there'll be cool things implemented, like keys and stuff to unlock things and do things. Anyway, so I've been doing that. Otherwise, Cap, we had our first D&D session a couple of weeks ago, which I talked about, but we have the official session 1 this Thursday night out of my Twitch
sick,
channel
mate.
with the brothers. So
Awesome.
if anyone would like to tune in to watch that, but I've been doing a bunch of prep for the boys for that.
Twitch.tv/Grizzly Gaming 86.
That's it. Yes, you can watch.
the
You
one.
can
Go and
watch
follow it.
Thursday night. Should be great.
Oh yeah.
Got a very cool story lined up for the boys, and I think that's going to be really good fun.
Freaking wicked, mate. Very cool.
That's my gaming. Cap, how's
Yeah.
your gaming going, mate? What have you
Yeah,
been
my
playing?
gaming's going pretty good, mate. I've actually been up to a fair bit. I've kind of been plugging away at Pentiment here and there, just playing. I actually had so it was funny because I've been playing Pentiment almost exclusively through Xbox Game Pass and cloud gaming, which has been really good. And then I just like my the actual stream of the game just shit the bed and was really crap for a couple of days. And I was like, what the fuck's going on?
Did you figure out what was it, mate? What was
Well,
the
it took
issue?
about a week to figure out what was going on. I was streaming on the wrong network at home. I was on the 2.4 gig wireless network, and you basically have to stream it off 5 gigahertz.
Really?
Otherwise, the stream looks garbage. Yeah.
Dude, I'm
big time.
pretty sure my router is so old that it only offers 2.4 gigahertz.
Well, I'm
Don't
telling
tell
you,
my
you would
wife
not
that.
be able to use cloud streaming, mate. Well,
No?
especially
Okay.
wireless cloud streaming, it would look fucking shit. It's all stuttery and broken, and I couldn't figure out what was going on, and I was just like, this is very random. How was I playing it so well for a while, and now it's shit again? And that was what the reason was. It's just my network switched randomly. But yeah, so I've been plugging away at Pentiment. Still haven't finished it. Still in the second chapter. I'll try and finish that up this week and put a bow on it, so I can say that I'm be sticking to my New Year's resolution of actually finishing some games this year. So
Nice, good.
be fucking doing that. But now, out of the Nintendo Direct, we had some demos that were sort of announced. Now, one of them was Octopath Traveler 2. Now, that's obviously the sequel to the first Octopath Traveler. This is a game by Square Enix. It's a JRPG. Now, obviously Square Enix does a lot of JRPGs, but what sets this one apart is the first game had about 8 or so different storylines all happening at the same time, and you could flick between different protagonists.
You could pick
the
up
actual art
characters
style-
and leave them, and then when
Yeah.
you finish the game, depending on who you've got, you get a different ending and stuff. It was very cool.
Yeah,
quite
there was
unique.
quite a lot of interaction between who you're playing when and what's going on where, and you could flip around. And so Octopath Traveler 2 uses that same kind of story beat.
That's
There's
cool.
a bunch of different characters across the kingdom that are doing different things at different times. I think there's like a warrior who's being picked for taking the throne, and then his brother's trying to usurp him, and there's a merchant and a dancer and all these other people. But I think the thing about Octopath is the art style, Grizz. It's very, so it's kind of like all the sprites are 2D, but everything's in kind of like a 3D diorama. So a lot of the environments kind of are like pixel art with 3D boundaries, but then you've got the characters who are these 2D pixel sprites.
Right.
But
Yeah.
a lot of the animations and stuff and the spell effects, they're kind of a bit more ethereal and non-pixelated. They kind of use like particle systems and stuff, and they look quite spectacular. But yeah, so I played this demo, and it was quite good. I think the only thing for me with Octopath is I think because they're doing so many storylines at once, I feel like the stories, because they haven't committed to one story, they got multiple stories happening all across the land. I think the quality of the stories are diminished a little bit, and they're a little bit vanilla for my liking. So I think that's just a development kind of thing. So
Okay,
I just found
yeah.
that the two characters that I played the warrior and the dancer. I just found their story arcs to be quite fucking boring. I don't know whether I was just unlucky with choosing them, but the game itself is presented incredibly nicely. The battle system's really really solid. I will say that I had a pretty poor interaction with the boss of the warrior campaign that I was doing, where I kind of just lost because I didn't have enough fucking potions, and I was just like, "Well, this is kind of fucking shit. Like, this is
Yeah.
garbo." So I've now got to go and buy
Not
a
good
couple
game
more
design.
potions just so I can beat this boss. This is stupid. So I was a bit soured by that. But honestly, if you enjoyed Octopath Traveler 1, I think you're going to really enjoy 2.
Okay,
Again,
cool.
has that really nice art style. Now, probably the big one here for me, Grizz, is Sea of Stars. We've spoken about this game before.
Yeah.
They released that they've got demo coming out. It's kind of this Chrono Cross, like kind of Super
Chrono
Mario
Trigger,
RPG
yeah.
blend. Really, really beautiful
Dude,
pixel artwork.
The art style far out, mate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
just
really
like a
nice.
modernized take on Chrono Trigger. It just looks so good.
Yeah, it's mint. So they've done a really good job of it. I will say some of the sprites look a little bit. I'm going to sound like an asshole saying it, but a little bit amateur. Probably
right?
not as.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess I just kind of have Chrono Trigger in mind, and I just think of the like quality of those sprites, and then I compare it to these ones. And I think because Chrono Trigger was working at a different sprite resolution, I just think they looked better than these ones because there's a higher kind of pixel density for some of the sprites they're using. But anyways, that it still looks really really good. A lot of the lighting effects are kind of almost take a little bit from like Octopath Traveler and stuff, and like the lighting systems look really really nice in the environments. Now the one thing so I played the demo. It's in this sort of section. You kind of it's got a very similar battle system to Chrono Trigger, where you kind of just encounters in the world. It's not like you're walking over grass or anything like in Final Fantasy. You kind of physically walk into enemies, and then they all kind of go into their positions, and then you're suddenly in a battle in the environment. So I really liked that. The battle system's quite good as well. One thing I really liked about the battle system is enemies sometimes will do moves, and you can stop them from doing those moves with this lock system, and it will show you a bunch of different symbols above the enemy. And if you can basically use your characters and use certain moves that perform those particular damage types, you can then stop them from performing those particular things, which is cool. Really, really important for boss battles. There's one boss battle that I played in that game, and I think if I wasn't actively working with that system, I probably wouldn't have been able to do it. But yeah, anyways, the battle system feels really good. And yeah, I had a really great time with the demo. Very much looking forward to the full release. They even had a bit of fishing in there, and it's probably one of the better fishing mini games I've played.
Fishing,
yeah. I don't know. I'm a sucker for a good fishing mini game.
Me too.
And
mate.
when it's boring, when it's just like a press A, okay, and now tap the button when the fish is on and you've got the fish, not interested. This had a very kind of complex.
Could you see the line going through the water and stuff?
Yeah, yeah. You gotta try and chuck the line in properly, and then you're gonna try and keep the fish in a certain area, and yeah, they do a really good job of it. So good fishing mini game. So it gets a fucking instant tick from me. But yeah, I think I'm very much looking forward to that game. There's a couple of other interesting battle mechanics, like when you hit enemies, they drop mana, and you can like absorb that mana to empower your attacks. So kind of promotes you to do things. And also your magic power to do techniques and stuff is regained by doing basic hits. And those basic hits, again, obviously, there's a lot of like cool interactions with the different things you can do with your battle system. So anyways, but yeah, what else was there? Also things like timing your button presses to when attacks hit enemies, you'll do extra damage. For example.
Yeah, that's cool.
So,
where's the Super Mario? That's the Super Mario RPG elements coming into that for sure.
Yeah, like one of the characters.
Did Chrono Trigger have that or not? I don't think it did it?
No, I don't think it did either. No, it didn't. There's like one of the main characters. She has like this kind of. It's almost like in Ocarina of Time when you're fighting Phantom Ganon and you're like hitting the ball back at Ganon in the boss fight. It's like that, and you can get like. I don't know. I think like up to like 10 or so hits back and do a shitload of damage with this particular technique. But like it's so easy to fuck up. And I fucked it up so many times. But it felt really good when you managed to get a really good kind of like, it's almost like a tennis fucking, thing going on. But yeah, anyways, really cool. Now, I know I've been talking a lot about my games because we've got one more.
Yeah,
One more
go
game
for
I
it,
wanna
mate.
talk
Take your
about.
time. All good.
Now with the Legend of Zelda trailer, it made me very reminiscent of just wanting to play a Zelda title in general. So I was like, fuck, what am I going to play? And I was like, God, I don't want to play another Zelda game. I've played them all so many fucking times. Need a new game.
Tunic.
No, I didn't play Tunic. So I was kind of scooting around the internet. I was like, fuck, what could I play? And I found this game that has always been in my radar, but I've just always discounted it for no real good reason. I've just always gone, oh, no, that doesn't look like the kind of thing I want to play, or no, not interested. Okami. Ever heard of that game?
No, I haven't.
Okami is this
Okami.
game where you play a wolf in this very vibrant. It's the art style's almost like a Japanese watercolor painting with very, very dark kind of outlines and stuff. And so you're playing this wolf, and it's definitely a Zelda-like. I think it takes a lot from Twilight Princess in the way it gives you interactions and stuff like that. So you play this wolf that has these powers where you can brush things on the world, and when you get into battles and stuff with enemies, you can attack normally, like biting and stuff, but then you
moderate
can also
sexual references. Jesus, Cap. That's what it says.
yeah.
Got
There has
some
been at least one sexual reference. It's
Yeah,
definitely a little bit of tongue in cheek here and there. It's quite funny at times.
Yeah,
But yeah, the combat's really cool. Yeah, absolutely. It's one of those games where you kind of trying to figure out what you need to do in the area. Like, in Zelda, you might need a particular tool to do something to get past a boulder or something. In this game, you're using this paintbrush that you have as a wolf, and you can like cut boulders in half with this paintbrush by swiping across the screen and doing other bits and pieces. I'm pretty early on in the game. But yeah, it is a Capcom game. Came out a long time ago. Now, Okami got a remaster, so I've been playing the remaster on Switch. Holds up pretty bloody well.
Goes all right?
Yeah, it's pretty good. The combat's pretty fun. You kind of go into these little battle zones where you're fighting these little enemies, and then based on how well you do, you get like a certain amount of money and stuff. And then you can like pause time to like draw across the screen to do like sword attacks with your brush, and then bite the enemies and stuff. It's really good so far. So been quite enjoying that. But yeah, that's been my gaming, and it's been going pretty good.
It has
Chris.
been gone. Good, mate. There you
I've
go.
actually been doing a fair bit of gaming, which has been surprising for me.
Very nice.
That's why I haven't been able to play Warzone, Grizz, because I've been
Now you
kind
gotta
of committed
download
to
Warzone.
all the
Yep.
shit.
Mhm.
Yeah. So, but yeah, so there you go. But now, Grizz, we're kind of at the stage of
Perfect. Yeah, this is great.
our little podcast where we do the old rapid fire news, which is sponsored by the one and only, the big dog himself.
We changed the name. We changed the name from.
Yep, and we reapplied for sponsorship, and we got it.
Yeah, we got it.
DJ
baby.
Francesco.
Yeah,
I
thank you,
hate
DJ
go.
Francesco.
I hate it.
For the onwards, the continued sponsorship. We appreciate it big time, mate. All right, first topic off the rapid fire news, my friends. Riot Games was recently hacked, and they stole a bunch of fucking source code, saucy code, bit of fucking barbecue sauce from the servers in Riot Games. Anyways, they have now put that source code on the black market. Riot said that they would not be paying any demands for ransoms on their source code, and they've put up the source code for $700,000, which includes their anti-cheat software.
Wowzers. Do you reckon anyone stupid enough will be keen to buy that, Cap, or what?
Who has $700,000 to pay on a source code that's probably outdated anyway?
Maybe
I don't
Dota
know.
will. Yeah, actually, I don't know, man. Yeah, good point.
Mate,
Maybe not.
they 100% would have updated the source code since then. There's no way that that's still in there's no way that what this hacker has is a direct one-to-one to what's currently in production. Let me
Very
put it that
true.
way.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Yeah. Cap, Star Wars Jedi Survivor will feature both fast travel and rideable creatures for Cal Kestis, which is pretty cool.
So that sounds like maybe the world, the zones you're going to, Grizz, are maybe a bit more bigger and open, perhaps, and require a bit more traversal and fast traveling. So I'm quite excited about that. I think that's, obviously, I'm pretty sure Jedi the original. What is it? Jedi. Fucking what's it called? Jedi Survivor. Yeah, Star Wars Jedi, the original game. I'm pretty sure that kind of shadow dropped as well. It kind of came out of nowhere, and people were like,
Did
oh, fuck,
absolutely.
here it is. So I think people are pretty excited about this. I'm pretty excited.
Riding
about it.
Ewoks, it's going to be awesome.
Fucking Ewok. Jesus Christ. All right. StarCraft 2 is going to have its biggest prize pool in years, Grizzly. I believe.
Sheesh.
Prize
Can
pool.
you believe that? I actually
Yeah.
offended a lot of people the other night, Cap, by calling StarCraft 2 a retro game.
What?
Yeah.
I
well,
would have classed it as retro.
that's what I said. It's 10 years old. But then people were like, yeah, well, then Dota
Actually,
2
no. 10 years old is not retro.
is...
No, hang on.
Jim.
Wait,
It's not
what?
retro.
Am I an
Yeah.
idiot? Is there a StarCraft 3?
No, I don't think so. Not yet.
No, I think I'm just a fucking idiot. It's definitely not retro, dude. Sorry. I think I was getting
90s is
mixed up.
retro?
I thought there was.
Okay.
I thought there was a 3 for some reason. It's definitely not retro, Grizz. Sorry, you've
Not
been
retro.
vetoed.
Look, I
Big
did
time.
agree. It isn't retro. It isn't retro. But, just like to piss people off. That's
Yeah.
how the world goes round. Capo.
I think that's why I'm getting mixed up, Jim. Is because I remember this is what the issue was. Is Blizzard like sold the DLC for StarCraft 2, as like separate games kind of thing, but I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. But there was a lot of backlash at the time with whether
How-
it constituted the price they put on the StarCraft stuff, and I think they were just milking the cow.
How big is the price pool, Cap, on the StarCraft 2?
500,000 big ones, which is a lot.
Yeah,
It's a
when you-
lot, but also it's not quite as much as Dota 2 or
Yeah,
anything.
when you look at like League of Legends and Dota and whatnot. Is that the biggest
even
it's
Le-
ever been for StarCraft 2, is it? In years. Okay.
I don't know. I don't know if it's the biggest it's ever had, but it's the biggest in years. And how many years, Grizz? Don't know.
Who knows,
Many.
sir? Mhm.
There you go.
All right, Cap. Alan Wake 2 continues to creep towards release, with production reaching a milestone where the game is now playable from start to finish. Hot damn.
Yeah, so that's pretty exciting. I actually never played Alan Wake 2, but I know a lot of people just frothed on the game in general, like a really good kind of psychological thriller kind of
Mhm.
game. And yeah, the fact that it's close to prod is pretty cool. There
Very
you go.
cool. Very cool.
All right, Grizz. The UK government has finished an investigation where it has provisionally concluded that Microsoft's proposed acquisition of Activision Blizzard King could result in higher prices, fewer choices, and less innovation for UK gamers.
Cap, this is exactly what a monopoly is. I tried to explain it once on the podcast, going back to my
Yeah.
year 12 fucking economics class.
Yeah. But a
Yeah.
monopoly does require you to own the entire market, which even
Mm.
if they did own it, they wouldn't. But Sony would like to have you think that.
Very true.
I don't know. There's no reason for me to believe that it would actually be a good thing for gaming. In fact, it's probably a bad thing for gaming in general because monopolies are kind of shit, or even vague partial monopolies. But I just don't want to. I don't know. I kind of want it to happen.
Well, I
I
feel
just
like-
want to see Blizzard games on Game Pass because then I'd pay even less money than I already do for shit. So I
Yeah.
don't know.
I also feel like Microsoft are kind of being punished for being really good at what they do, which shouldn't happen.
Yeah, kind of. I think
It's like,
this is the other thing. It's kind of like sour grapes because Sony kind of like won the console battle at one point, and I think now Xbox is slowly starting to claw its way back. You know, fucking commando crawling under all the barbed wire to try and fucking snake its way back into the running. And now Sony's like, guys, fucking Xbox is fucking, fucking doing nasty shit to me, and fucking boo-hoo, where. Anyways, it's fucking people with money complaining about other people with money. But there you go.
There you go. Hot topic tonight, Cap. Nintendo promises a 10% pay hike, even as it trims its profit outlook. So that's kind of cool. Going to pay their people. 10% is quite a lot, by the way, I feel like, for a pay rise. That is considered a pretty good pay rise. I think the standard
Fucking
is 5% per year to battle inflation and whatnot. But yeah.
Yep.
That seems pretty
10%
good.
is pretty large.
Mm.
So impressive for Grizzly. I think the big thing there is Grizz also like obviously economically we're not looking too fucking flash hot. We've got fucking inflation going through the
Yeah.
roof in a lot of countries, including Australia. home loans aren't getting any fucking cheaper. And also, big one for Nintendo is the Japanese yen is a bit garbage yen at the moment. So
Wow.
the fact that they're committing to this is pretty big dick energy, and maybe they're expecting big returns from the third Breath of the Wild DLC. So
true.
Should be interesting.
Yeah.
All right, Grizz, Darkest Dungeon 2 is going to be fully released on the 8th of May.
Yeah.
It's gonna be in May.
So this was one of my most anticipated games of the year, Cap, even though I have played the beta and I thought it was a step down from the last one. I am looking forward to this release, and I will play the game. So, yeah, I'll keep you posted, mate. Are you going to play it, Cap? You reckon? You give it a tickle?
Yeah, I'll probably give it a crack. Do you think they'll address some of the issues that their community's going to have?
I honestly
with the game?
think they'll have to. I don't know what...
What's the big standout ones at the moment, Grizz?
Oh, the game's unrewarding to play. And they changed...
That seems like a big issue.
Yeah, they changed the formula of the way it works. So how you kind of bring in your recruits and bits and pieces in. And it's basically... It almost feels like a whole new game. And the biggest gripe is that the whole mechanic is you're in this cart. I don't want to harp on this for too long, but the way that you travel to your encounters is you're in a cart and you kind of steer it down a road. Darkest Dungeon 1 was you were in a dungeon and you were walking side-scrolling through a dungeon with your characters. In between the encounters while you're traveling on the cart, there is nothing that can happen. It's just a simulator of you driving. So they need to make that more interesting.
Right.
And they need some other mechanics in there to make it. Otherwise,
I think the intention of adding some more variation to that was there, and maybe it was just because it was early access, or they hadn't implemented it yet?
Maybe, and I hope that's the case. There is some cool things. You know how in Slay the Spire, Cap, how you're given multiple choices of ways you can go, and you can kind of see the different things that may happen if you take those different paths.
Yep.
Darkest Dungeon 2 is the same. So you can kind of see in front of you, and you can see what might be on different paths. So you can actually kind of customize your route depending on what you want. So there was some cool stuff in there. I just think it needs a lot of work to be up to where Darkest Dungeon
Has it still got the whole go back to the town thing going on?
No, nothing like that.
Really?
Either. Yeah. So you don't have
how do they what do they do instead?
I can't remember. It was a long time since I played it, and maybe that town management thing would happen. But yeah, you would level up your characters and you would do stuff like that. Yeah, I can't remember whether there was a full town building mechanic. I feel like there's
a lot of shit going on in that town, dude. Like,
yeah, there was.
New adventures rocking up, and you know you need to put old mate in the fucking asylum because he's lost the plot, and yeah, I don't know. It seems like a bigger mission, but anyways, I suppose we'll see what it looks like.
But I mean, if you go and have a look at the reviews on this, like it hasn't got great reviews on it either, like on the beta stuff too. So
yeah,
hopeful, but yeah, we'll see.
Interesting, Grizz. All right, you're next, mate.
There you go. All right. Nintendo Switch, Cap, continues its surge style, becoming the third highest selling console of all time. 122.55 million sales.
Yeah. Now, this is definitely one reason why I can see why we might not get a Switch 2 anytime soon. Because if, the world has so heavily invested in hardware for Nintendo like this, it's almost not in their best interest to make another console.
That's amazing, isn't it?
Unless they, make a Switch Pro, which is kind of like an optional upgrade. But even then, God, fuck, the Nintendo Switch is old. Jesus Christ.
So it's now outsold the PlayStation 4.
My phone has better fucking specs. Huh?
It's outsold the PlayStation 4 now in these. So PlayStation 4
it has, and the Game Boy / Game Boy Color. The only things that have done better is the Nintendo DS and the PlayStation 2.
Is that right? Woof.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah. So Nintendo DS was 154.02 mil, and the PlayStation 2 was 159.
Maybe they want to get to number one first, Cap, and then they'll check out and bring out the next one.
Yeah. I mean, I guess we'll see what happens, dude. I mean, fuck. I'm very interested to see how fucking Tears of the Kingdom runs. It's going to be very interesting because I always bring up that one moment when I had in Breath of the Wild 1 when I walked into the fucking forest when I'm supposed to be like, oh my God, the Master Sword. And then it was like fucking 5 frames per second. I was just like, fuck, it's a fucking,
sweet
picture book of the Master Sword.
That was the art style, mate. They did it on purpose.
Yeah, smart, very smart. There you go. All right, Grizz. Bungie demands $12 million in lawsuit monies against Destiny 2 cheat seller Veteran Cheats.
Wowzers.
That's
Fuck,
a
I
lot of
like
fucking
this.
cash.
I like this, mate. Like,
Yeah, they're fucking
I was
sticking
talking
it to
I was talking to the guy who I play Warzone 2 with, and dude, cheating is so rampant in that game. And
Oh, yeah.
like, there's anti-cheat, but it doesn't do fucking anything, mate. So
Yep.
this is good.
Yeah,
Stop the people that
it's,
are creating the cheats, and you'll solve a lot of issues.
Yeah, I mean, it's actually kind of smart when you think about it, right? So instead of making anti-cheat software and that
Yeah.
costing you money to make and implement, just fucking lawsuit all the fucking idiots making cheats for it,
That is
and
such
then
a
you're
good
making
idea.
more money.
That is such a
Fucking
good
big
idea.
brain ideas here, pal.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's fucking smart. Anyways, just a fucking little capo fucking shower thought for you.
Yep. I like that. Smart.
All right, Grizz. What
That's
else
it.
we got?
That's
we
it,
got one
isn't it?
more.
We got one more? Oh shit. Oh dude, because I've got my own run sheet, so hang on.
Yeah,
You do it, mate.
I'll
You've
say.
got it. Yeah.
All right. So Wild Hearts, the Monster Hunter-esque kind of style game coming from EA. That's the kind of, it's kind of more kind of Japanese folklore inspired than the kind of dinosaur cross fucking Monster Hunter thing that Monster Hunter has going on. It's coming to Xbox Game Pass with a 10-hour free trial on the 13th of Feb. Wait, is that fucking today? Is that out? Hang on.
13th. Yep.
Hold on, pal. Fuck, is that out already? Christ almighty. Hang on. Let me have a look. Let me just load her up.
So it's a time trial. That's interesting that they've done
It
that.
is a time trial.
That is
Can't see it
cool.
on here.
I
Might be
prefer
on
that.
the E. I think the EA, there's like an EA Pass thing they've got going on. So maybe it's going to be, might not be out
Okay.
yet. I think it's probably due for release on that. So EA Pass is like EA's
Yawning.
Xbox Game Pass thing. And I think EA's just let Xbox bundle that into Xbox Game Pass. So, yeah. Anyways, it will be available probably soon, like literally the next day. So if people are interested in playing Wild Hearts, which I fucking definitely am.
Yeah, it looks good.
Yeah, you can get 10 hours for free on Xbox Game Pass. So there you fucking go. Try before you buy, fellas. But yeah, anyways, that's the fucking show. That's the whole lot. That's the whole fucking shebang.
Yep.
I think Pav will be kissing us on the fucking mouth because we stuck to the time for once.
Mhm.
So I
Chef's
think we've done a
kiss.
good job. Bit of change to the structure of the show and all that kind of stuff to try and streamline the timing. So yeah, I think we're doing a fucking good job. So,
Yeah. People may have noticed trying to cut down on the main topics so we can take our time and really unwrap those as we need to.
Yeah,
I think it's
exactly.
good.
So yeah, just give all the sections the love they deserve. So yeah. Anyways, you can expect some interesting stuff coming to the podcast soon. We're in the process of engaging in parties, so bring you some cool stuff. But yeah, anyways, look, just want to kind of wrap this bad boy up. Just want to say firstly, thank you guys so much for consuming this podcast. We bloody appreciate you guys immensely. If you're not already following the Twitter, you can do so at twitter.com/OG. What do we got? OGR show. Twitter.com/OGR show. We do a podcast that you're listening to. We do a poll every week on that Twitter. Dude, I'm fucking cooked. Think. We do a poll every week on that Twitter. So go and follow it. You too can jump in and make your voice be heard on this little podcast of ours. But yeah, so there you go. Now, obviously, we stream this bad boy on twitch.tv/Oceanic Gaming Radio every freaking Monday night from 7 p.m. Australian Western Standard Time. Go and follow that channel, and you too can watch this bad boy live, alongside such legends as Caging Runt, Straight Jacket Jim, Tesla Panda's in there as well. So there you go. You guys can watch it live as well. Otherwise, you can go and listen to it on your favorite podcasting platform. We're live across all of them. So yeah. Now, make sure that you go and drop a hot review on this podcast, and if you know anyone that might enjoy this podcast, please let them know about it. We'd love to expand. But yeah, that's about all I really got to tell you guys. You can also become a Patreon at patreon.com/OGR show. where you can pay us $5 a month. And what do you get in return? Well, I'll say your name on the fucking stream. So there you go. But yeah, that's about everything. We've got Discord. There's a Discord as well. Check for the link in the description of this podcast or in Twitch chat right now. And you can talk to us directly by DMs.
Legends.
But yeah, so there you go. I think that's about all from us. Yeah, see you next week. Yow, yow, yow.
So, Kat,
Yeah, mate.
before the podcast started, Caging Runt messaged me on Discord saying, "Hey, Grizz, don't know if you've seen this podcast before," and linked me to the OGR Twitch page. So there you go. He did ask someone to watch the podcast. Well done, Caging Runt. Well
Oh, right.
done.
That's what it is. I was like, why the fuck do you do that? Yeah, okay, Caging. Fucking very funny, pal. Someone who hasn't seen the podcast before, okay? Yeah, how we doing?
How we going, fellas? Jim, nice to see you, mate.
I want to call today's episode
Breath
Tears
Wild
of the
trailer
Fandom.
sucks.
No, Tears of the Fandom. That's what I want to call it.
Tears of the fandom. Yep.
Yeah. I reckon
That,
it's
or do we go
fucking
clickbait? The game that must not be named.
Ooh, that is actually that's actually
probably
not-
better.
That's probably better. The
Yeah,
game that
that's-
must not be
Fuck,
named.
we got two really good titles this week, and I know
Yeah, we
yours is
do.
better, Pav, because it'll get more clickbait. Fuck.
Yeah, but I don't know if we want to focus on that because you did talk about.
might be bringing people in for the wrong reason.
Yeah, I know. Yes, and you did talk more about Zelda.
Yeah, I don't know. I think maybe we'll go with mine, just because
Yeah.
we didn't talk a lot about Zelda. Also, Tears of the Fan is a fucking great title. Come on, that's a fucking ripper.
The Tears.
Every man and his dog covered Hogwarts already. That's very true.
Yeah.
Panda
I
reckons
think
Tears
I
of the
actually look. Jim. I know. It kind of seemed like a hot take, but that is legitimately how I feel about it.
Dude, it's so weird.
I'm still really excited for the game.
I was surprised we had the same take, Cap. Honestly, on that.
I am too.
Because we had, we didn't
hadn't
talk
spoken
about
about
that.
it.
That was not scripted. Honestly, not scripted.
Yeah.
And we fucking both shat on the trailer.
Look, I'm still gonna fucking play the game. I'm gonna probably
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
finish the fuck out of it. But yeah, I don't know. I need something more. I fucking man, please,
Yeah.
please, Miyamoto,
Yeah, it was
Miyamoto
very.
son, please.
They could have probably. I reckon they could have nearly grabbed Breath of the Wild 1 footage to make that trailer, and it would have had the same impact.
Yeah. Do you know what I reckon they did? All right, here we go. This is the hot take. All right, fucking someone record this. This is the hot take
It's live on Twitch.
for Tears of the Kingdom. All right. They used ChatGPT to generate a fucking Breath of the Wild 2 trailer from pre-existing fucking Breath of the
Okay.
Wild 1 clips.
Right.
There you go.
Make me a Breath of the Wild 2 trailer. That's fair. Yeah, they could have done that. Easy.
No, that's what they did. I'm telling you right now.
Is it? Right. Fuck. Okay.
That's my hot take.
All right, well, I
And
clipped it.
Nintendo's just fucking sneaking it under our nose. They even got ChatGPT to write the fucking source code.
So,
for the
Cap,
game.
all right, here's
sell
going
it.
even further down the tunnel. The money they saved from making that trailer, they're paying to their employees to make it a good news story for the 10% pay increase.
Yeah. Big schlong. Giant dumb. Yeah, I kind of wish I came up with that Chat GPT thing in the fucking episode, but there you go. That's just how it goes. All right, I'm fucking going to bed. What are we doing?
We need a
Where
raid
are we
target.
going? Where are we
Any
going?
any picks?
Any picture? Does Caging Runt stream anymore?
I haven't seen a Caging Runt stream in
Go
a while.
raid his fucking blank channel.
Keen. Very keen.
OGR raid, baby.
We got who do we got? We got Kelosaurus. We got Raikou. We got Kabalia.
Oh yeah, we can do Cavalia.
You pick tonight. Pav.
Okay. Oh, actually, I got a friend playing Phasmophobia. A new friend.
Okay. Cool.
How do you feel? Or Cab.
Pav's got friends.
Here's one of my
Go
DJ
on,
friends. It's a different DJ. It's another different DJ friend.
Ooh, hey. Okay.
DJ friend Chesko.
We are we're only about DJ Francesco here, but
This
I'll
is-
allow it.
This is DJ Icky Guy.
All right. Okay.
All right. Where is this?
Have your work, legends. See you in a week. Tune into my stream Thursday for Dungeons and Dragons. Do it.
How often are you doing that?
Probably fortnightly, but it depends on how much pre-work I can get done. I reckon I've got about 3 episodes up the sleeve at the moment.
Sweet.
Looking pretty good.
All right. Please go say hey.
Have your work, mate.
See you, Kazi.
Welcome and see you, Kazi.
All right.
Fucking legend.
Bye-bye. I'll see you over there. I'll chuck some smokes in chat.
Bye.
Bye.